And good evening from Vancouver in the 2015 Pwn2Own Security Contest. Hi everybody, I'm Joe Gura with HP Security Research, and thank you for joining us. It has been a busy day, a barn burner day here in BC. Let's go right downstairs to where all the action took place. Pwn2Own is a competition filled with surprises, beginning with the contest draw. Researchers only found out first thing this morning when they'd get to have their turn. As the first researcher sits down, let's go to HPSR's Dustin Childs, who's in the middle of the action.
The folks from Team 509 and Keen Team used a heap overflow remote code execution vulnerability in Flash, then leveraged a local privilege escalation in the Windows kernel through TrueType fonts, bypassing all the defensive measures. Nico Joly followed with his own exploit of Flash. He used a use-after-free remote code execution vulnerability and a sandbox escape directory traversal vulnerability in the Flash broker. Nico continued his exploitation domination by taking down Adobe Reader with a stack buffer overflow, once for an info leak and then again for remote code execution. He then leveraged an integer overflow to exploit the broker, netting him a cool $60,000. I caught up with Nico just after he finished disclosing the vulnerabilities to the vendor. So Nico, you just netted $90,000 today after taking down Adobe Reader and Adobe Flash. How are you feeling?
Oh, it's kind of great, actually. It's kind of an achievement, you know.
Yes.
When you come to Vancouver, you're here for holidays, and then you come back with some cash. Yeah, it's great. Some great vacations.
Keen Team returned to take down Adobe Reader using an integer overflow and achieve pool corruption through a different TTF bug than they used before. Mario stepped up to take on Mozilla Firefox and knocked it out of the park through a cross-origin vulnerability, followed by privilege escalation within the browser, all within 0.5 seconds.
Hey Dustin, why was this a big deal?
Not only was Firefox owned, Joe, but there was a fundamental flaw from Microsoft Windows involved that this researcher showed off. We'll be hearing more about this later in the year. Microsoft has been notified and the ZDI's disclosure rules naturally apply. Our final entry for day one was actually a new entrant this year, and that's 360 Vulkan Team. They were able to exploit 64-bit Microsoft IE11 with an uninitialized memory vulnerability, netting them medium integrity code execution. So that wraps up day one of Pwn2Own 2015, where we saw some of the world's premier security researchers take down every target set before them, netting themselves a cool $350,000 in the process. Join us again tomorrow, where some of our targets include Apple Safari, Google Chrome, and Internet Explorer once again. Thanks, and coming from Vancouver, this is Dustin Childs for HP Security Research. Back to you, Joe.
Thanks, Dustin. Wow, what a day it was down there, and it's only just begun. Join us tomorrow night for highlights from day 2 of this incredible competition. For now, reporting in Vancouver, for HP Security Research, I'm Joe Gura. Thank you for joining us.